Another large group joins the long line for COVID vaccines in Massachusetts. Next Thursday, teachers become eligible to sign up. And here to answer your questions is Dr. Daniel Koritskis, Chief of Infectious Diseases at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Good to see you.
Good evening. Good to see you, Emily.
All right. Today, Governor Baker announced teachers can get vaccinated before people who work in grocery stores, airports, funeral homes, the court system. Is there a medical reason why the state needed to make this change?
There's no specific medical reason. I think people who are already at high personal risk for having severe COVID because of age or coexisting medical condition are already able to get vaccinated. And younger, healthier people can protect themselves by wearing a mask regardless of the type of work they do.
So let's talk about the timeline for everybody else, especially people who don't fall into some of these priority groups. Do you think it's realistic to expect vaccines will be available for everyone in the U.S. by the end of May? Or do you think we still need some lucky breaks when it comes to vaccine development?
I think May is an achievable target, but it is going to require some lucky breaks. Everything's going to have to go just right, and we really won't be able to afford any glitches.
So I want to ask you about this. My producer and I were talking about this today. It feels like a confusing time. So Massachusetts has a lot of restrictions in place, right? Even though our numbers are really down from the holiday surge, other places, I'm thinking Texas, Mississippi, allowing businesses to open, they're getting rid of mask mandates. Do you think Massachusetts is being too cautious?
No, I don't. I think this is a confusing time, and frankly, I think that some states are being reckless. It's perfectly fine to open businesses and get people back to doing the things they want to do, but you have to mask up while you're doing that, because we can't abandon masking until we see the numbers be much lower for much longer and many more people being vaccinated.
So let's talk about that. Those numbers, every week we get them from the state. We used to really focus in on that positivity rate. Then we started looking at hospitalizations. When you look at this, which metric is at the top of your list right now?
Well, there are a lot of numbers, and it's easy to say every number tells you something different. But what I really look at are the total number of new infections, because that's telling me something about the rate of community spread, and the number of hospitalizations, because that tells us a lot about the capacity of the healthcare system to deal with COVID and with all the other health problems that we have to face.
So if you see those two numbers start to drop significantly, you would feel better about where we are as a state?
I certainly would. I'd like to see our numbers down where we were towards the end of June and into July, and we're not quite there yet.
Okay. All right. But it's something to work towards, something to look at. All right. Dr. Koritskis, thank you so much for your time and your insight. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.